Hello, happy Monday. I hope you're having a great day, a blessed day, and getting 1% better than yesterday, and breaking free from anything that's holding you back from having the best day ever and becoming the best version of yourself. Let me know what you're trying to break free from. Is it debt? Is it pain? Is it stress, fear, anxiety, gambling, overeating, addiction? There's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of road bumps, and trust me, I've hugged them all. It is possible, and it is a process, and processes take time. So I wish you the best on your journey. I'm doing pretty good on mine. I would consider this the best day ever. There's no reason not to. It's all about perspective, and it's been a good day. I did get out there. It's my day off. As a part-time waiter and a part-time gig worker, I guess, it's my day off of having a boss anyways. And it's a technical if you're going to give yourself 2 days. So I made $45. I ended up making $300 last week in the gig economy. My Saturday mornings just freed up because the girls are done with Saturday soccer now. So I'll be able to gig a little bit more than two. So that could be an extra $50 a week for me. So I'm really looking forward to that. If you could like an extra $50 or more, check the links below for Instacart and Spark. It has really changed my life. Couple other brief things before I get into part 2 of 10 debt reduction tips today that have helped propel me and boost me out of debt. Can't wait to get into those. First, I want to talk about a quick little vinyl record haul I got. I think there's 8 records there. I only came up with 8, but the listing said 300, so I was very excited for a little bit. And then I want to talk about my medication, my cholesterol medication side effect of actually specifically giving me knee pain, and then I'll get into the debt. But I want to show you these records. So this is the first one, Parliament Alive. The listing said in town 300 records, some sealed, Elvis, blah blah blah. I'm like, ooh, oh my gosh. So I messaged this woman, and it was kind of late at night. It was probably after work, and she never got back to me, but I saw it was on red, and I'm like, oh no, did I miss it? I messaged her again in the morning to follow up, and she's like, yeah, after some talks, okay, come on here at 11 a.m. So, I'm ecstatic. I've been keeping a close eye on Facebook Marketplace for vinyl records, especially a whole big lot of them since that one I found over the summer. I did make a video about that. It could be thousands of dollars, depending on what's going on here. So she wanted 150 for what she was claiming to be 300 to 400 records. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can find 15 records, at $10 each, and then I'll have 300 more to sell. Cool. So I get there, and I'm flipping through, and it's hard to find 300 records that I wouldn't want. But boy, that's the stuff that you don't want. So I'm starting to be like, oh man. And I see, what's the first kind of record that catches my eye is this Shirelles record right here, and one of the songs on it is "Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow," and that's probably one of my top 5 favorite songs of all time, especially by the Shirelles doing it. So then I'm like, if I get a few records out of here for $1 a piece, will you sell them? And she's like, sure. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I grabbed that one. That's like a $5 record. I grabbed this Parliament Funkadelic Live just because it looked cool. That's about a $25 record. This is one of the first ones I found, Rex in Effect. This is actually like a 90s rap group. This is actually 1989. Shocking, like $5 to $10. I thought for sure it'd be more. Any James Brown, I usually take a shot on, and this is like $10 to $15. Hot Pants. Okay, all right, James. What else? So then, this is what really saved. I get into a little pile of Bonnie Raitt records. This is called Home Plate, I think. $5. Okay, nothing crazy yet. Green Light. I actually didn't look this one up. I forgot to look it up for the video, but I think there's some good money there. Probably like $20 record. I don't really see any Bonnie Raitt records out there. Nick of Time. Got about $25 on this record. Still beautiful condition. Looks like he took it off the shelf. It's still got its plastic wrap on there, the shrink wrap. And I get home and I'm having fun looking up these records, and I type in Luck of the Draw, Bonnie Raitt, the last one here. Anywhere from $60 to $100. Are you kidding me? I think it's 1991. So records in the 90s, they were all but dead. You know, it was CDs and cassettes at that point. So I don't think many records were produced, or, you know, they weren't really saved. And this obviously has the two amazing songs, I Can't Make You Love Me and Something to Talk About. $60 to $100 record right there. I just listened to it before I started this video, and man, it's such a beautiful song. It's giving me goosebumps. The piano sounded so good on the vinyl record. So a great haul. You know, I made well over $100 for about 10 minutes worth of work. So that was a nice final haul. But and then lately, my knees have been really hurting, and my wife sort of mentioned that statin medication. This one's called rosuvastatin, and it can really affect your knees. And I'm like, you know, my gosh, I haven't been able to do squats. I've been icing my knees. They get sore when I bend them. They're chronically sore. And I actually went off this medication almost the whole summer because I had high cholesterol, because I was not eating well. And I went on it. Doc said, your cholesterol is good. So then I got off it, right? He never really told me to get off it, but I got off it. And I go back, and I worked out the whole summer, and I was fine. I mean, I was jogging and running stairs. I was doing squats. I was doing step-ups on the stairs. This is someone with a bad back and neuropathy in their feet. I mean, I was going. And then I had another doctor's appointment. He goes, are you still taking the medicine? And I go, no, my cholesterol is fine. He goes, that's because of the medicine. He's like, you're always going to have to be on this medicine. Your body produces cholesterol, and that's just how it's going to be. And I'm like, you know, is there any long-term side effects? No. And then my wife kind of recognized that there could be side effects in my knees, and that's a bummer. So I'm going to have to break free from this cholesterol medication. But be aware that sometimes, you know, your meds can have a direct side effect on you. But let's get into these topics for today, these 10 debt reduction tips. Number 1, make a budget, purpose every dollar, and include some sort of buffer. You know, things are going to get a little haywire each way. Don't make it just a hard line. Give yourself a buffer on that food budget and entertainment budget and, you know, electricity and gas. Budget everything, and that's one of the first things that we did, and we stuck to it no matter what. Number 2, the debt snowball method. With your debt, snowball it. That is going to be to pay the minimum on everything, and we had like nine different debts or credit cards. It was just crazy. I don't know what was going on. But then you attack the smallest one first, and then you move on to the next. And there's either the debt snowball or the debt avalanche. And we did the debt snowball. That was recommended by Dave Ramsey because it's psychological. Yeah, it might not be the highest interest rate one, but it makes you feel good saying, okay, we don't ever have this debt again, by paying off the minimum debt, minimum balance first, and then putting that money into the next one, the minimum, and then the extra money into the next lowest balance, and then the same, and then you finally get to the, you know, the highest balance with all the extra money going into it, and it actually does work psychologically. The next tip, number 4, is going to be to stop spending. You have to want it. You have to avoid burnout. This is not just a financial diet that you're going to start justifying yourself when you have a perfectly good phone to need a new phone when you have $20K in debt. No, this is not that. This is a lifestyle change. So far, we have been pretty good at it. You know, we're not perfect, but we do save a lot of money, and we do have no debt, and it frees up some extra money for you to spend when you are debt free. Number 5, change yourself first. Change yourself first, and then worry about your spouse. You have to kind of be the beacon. It can be very, very difficult to make these lifestyle changes. Thankfully, my wife went along with mine, and I was kind of surprised. You know, we think the same on a lot of different things, but not, of course, not everything. And thankfully that we agreed on this, that we had to make some changes, and I think it's benefited both of our lives greatly. But if that's not the case, you have to be the one to change first. Set the example. You know, budget your spending. Do what you have to do in the relationship, even if your spouse or partner is not changing. Number 6, track your expenses. This is one of the best ones that we've ever did. You're going to see what specific problems areas are, whether it's eating out, whether it's clothes. It's crazy when my wife will say, hey, you're starting to spend a little too much on coffee, you're starting to spend a little too much here, a little too much gas. Did you really need to go to the mall that day? And then there's just all the little frivolous stuff too that's almost uncategorized, just miscellaneous impulse buys and random thoughtless stuff that you're just getting in checkout, or so you run into a store and you're grabbing this or grabbing that. That stuff all adds up. Track your expenses, notice your problem areas, and then attack them. Everything that you got. Number 7, have long-range vision. 5, 10, 15 years. So I'm about 5 years out from when we started this journey, maybe 6. It's a good spot to be. It's benefited every area of my life. In 10 years, that's just going to be more money that we have had saved. It's going to be 10 years, of debt-free living. Frees me up to do different things, to be a part-time waiter, to be a gig worker, maybe to be a real estate agent, And it might take you 15 years to get it done, depending on what's going on. It's never too late to start. The best time to start was yesterday. Have a long-range plan. See where you're going to be, how good it's going to feel in 5, 10 years when you are debt-free, and what that could look for you. It is possible. It's going to take time. You have to be patient, but it's also going to move. So do what you got to do. Number 8, find your purpose. This was a huge one for me. I used to ramble through my days without much purpose, kind of aimless, working for the weekend. The next time I could go out, the next thing I could spend, getting some money just so I could spend it, and, soothe myself over the weekend, and then repeat the process. But when I started my break-free journey of starting to want to have the best day ever, every day, not just weekends, but heck yeah, Monday and Tuesdays. And I wanted to start spending as much time as I could with my kids and with my wife, and being home and not always having to work, and being my own boss and having less stress and having a happier home environment and bettering myself. Those are all just some of my purposes and passions that still fuel me every day. And without that stuff, without your why, you're not going to be able to change yourself. You're going to burn out on all these things of budget and tracking your expenses and having long-range vision. So find your purpose. Number 9 is going to be to change how you think about money. This was another thing that's kind of earth-shattering. It's your money or your life, right? You're going to have to work 30 hours for that flat screen TV, for that Xbox. Your money or your life. Or you could have that free time and not have your Xbox. Everything that you buy, you have to spend more time working. And so, now I'm trying to hit a certain number every week, but, if we don't hit it, you don't hit it. I really don't have that many expenses. Cut your expenses down, and then you have less reason to, or less need to go out and make that money. You can have your life back instead of working. Number 10, debt is slavery. The debtor is slave to the lender, as it says in the Bible. And that's what we do on this channel. We break free. We're not going to be slaves to anything. Break free from debt, and your life will get so much better. Break free from addiction. Break free from being jerked around like a puppet by your impulses. All life-changing things. Have a practical philosophy to live your day and your purpose and your passion. And then outside the lines, number 11, make more money. Get this stuff rolling, and you're going to want it to happen a little bit sooner. And that's what I did when I started side hustling, when I started flipping things for sale. There's a lot of records out there for you to find. There's a lot of people who need their groceries delivered or their dogs walked. There's a lot of side hustle opportunities out there. Let me know if you want me to talk about any specifically. And that's all I got for today. I hope you find those debt reduction tips well. I hope you're breaking free. Let me know how you're doing. And I'll definitely see you on the next video. Break free.